97.9 GRD rocks.
Partly cloudy, 78 the high. 65 now.
Wow.
Free beer, hot wings, Eric saying.
It looks like I think there was like a discussion in the hallways about make sure you don't send Mapes until there's like 20 seconds left before the guys start to talk.
Let's not tell him.
And then it'll be like a grand entrance.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Poor Jeff is like, why is that guy pointing at me?
Now, what do you think?
B channel.
Okay.
On,
yeah.
But I'm not sure. You got to turn them off.
Okay. We'll just do that. And then that. And then
one of those.
Hello, Mr. Mapes.
Jeffrey D. Mapes, attorney at law.
Morning.
Esquire. Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
It's appropriate. It's kind of pompous, but
I really like it, though.
But
almost
You've
as
earned it.
pompous as a bow tie. I mean, frankly.
not quite. Frankly, I prefer doctor. It is a Juris Doctor degree, so if you can just refer to me as Dr. Mapes, that would be.
I will.
Yeah, I will.
I will forever. Dr.
I
Mapes
appreciate
Esquire is here. Mapes D. Mapes.
You spent so much money for this big day. How does that feel, knowing that you all those service fees?
Do you think that sends
that
the
you
right
charge people?
Do you think that sends the right message to your clients who are saying, "Wait, how did I end up bankrupt?"
Well, I think it really helps me bond with them because I have no problems making foolish purchases.
Well, yeah, okay.
I too have made an error in judgment.
Yes.
I
who hasn't
understand.
been there?
I've spent God knows how much money. Because let me tell you, it's every lawyer's dream to advertise on a show that fetishizes farts and other bodily functions.
Yes, it's true.
It really lifts up the profession.
It does.
Yes.
So I'm just thrilled that my name has been used as a euphemism for number 3.
It has happened.
Yes, it
Really Mapes all over that person.
I mean, and not just by us.
Now, was
No,
that
by
your
many.
idea for the word Mapes to be used like Smurf? Because that was passed down to us. We didn't think of that.
Yeah, we
No,
got that from
I
the
was fairly
brass.
certain that was Joe.
Was that Joe? Might have been somewhere from sales.
Yeah, I got the word from high up above.
Yeah.
Whatever they want.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Memo.
Jeffrey D. Mapes is in the Mapes Law Studios.
Doctor.
Dr. Jeffrey D. Mapes.
Esquire.
Yeah.
The third?
The third
Sure.
and fourth.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't care. Idiots. So, you were probably driving. Did you happen to catch Hot Wings commentary today?
Did not. I walked
Okay.
over from the office.
Okay. It was
he
about
turns it off just like everybody else.
Yeah. Most people do. Most
Right,
people
that's-
miss it.
that's
That's
why
what
we
they say.
That's why we like you.
Just because I'm paying for this doesn't mean I listen to this crap.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
blame you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hot Wings, would you recap the setting?
Yes.
Because this is a debt-related question.
Yeah.
It is.
A bankruptcy-related question with a celebrity from the news. Do you know who we're talking about?
The last one I heard was 50 Cent.
That's
No,
who it is.
it's 50
50
Cent.
Cent.
You're saying it
It's
wrong,
his brother.
white bread.
It's his. It's his brother Fitty. So
50 Cent. It was 50 Cent, wasn't it? Come on, man.
it had been announced
Who's
that he
the
was going to
tie?
file for bankruptcy a while back, but yesterday was the actual official filings of bankruptcy, and in that bankruptcy, it lists his income as $185,000 a month. It lists his expenses as $108,000 a month. So it seems weird to me that you would be forced into bankruptcy if you were actually in $77,000 in the plus column for your monthly expenses. What would cause somebody other than to just avoid paying all debt?
Well, that would certainly be odd. I'm guessing, without looking at the petition, most of it on the budget schedules is not your pre-bankruptcy expenses. So his expenses were probably much higher than that prior to the filing.
Okay.
That would just be the best guess off the top of my head. But
So is it likely shady paperwork or just playing within the rules but finding loopholes?
probably the latter.
Yeah.
You think he'll try to pay it back? Is that Chapter 13?
It can be different options. There's Chapter 13 and Chapter 11. I'm guessing he's most likely in a Chapter 11.
As a business.
What's the difference?
I
mean, it's probably not that simple, but
No, and I we probably have so few people listening as is. I don't
Yeah,
want to.
well, I mean, nobody cares about that.
Or maybe
put it this
it-
way. Let's put it in a nutshell for people who fetishize farts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you
Because that was a good turn of phrase.
Yeah.
Probably at least with the Chapter 13 or Chapter 11, it's pay back what you can afford
so
over
you pay
time.
back your
I
farts
see. Okay. All right.
It's about
with
farts.
those two.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, this is good. Moral bankruptcy meets regular bankruptcy.
So,
Yeah.
do you get people that come to you, and have you ever had someone come into the office and say, I want to declare bankruptcy because I don't want my you-know-what ex-wife to get it? Is that a scenario that happens?
Occasionally, not always, but yes, occasionally that has happened.
What happens next?
Uh,
Can there be merit to that?
Offshore banking. You set
Sometimes
it up.
there can be ways around. Say if there's in a divorce judgment, you promise to give them part of your 401k or something like that. We can avoid it. But usually when it's someone like that, I'm going to decline representation. Frankly,
That's not
because
really what you're shooting for.
It'd be like if Zane walked into the office. Just it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to be a winner in that. you
No,
know,
and-
even
and-
if you do.
And
you-
I'm not sure what I can and can't say. So if this
Yeah.
results in an FCC
No,
violation,
Mapes.
It's on you.
It's fine.
no, I think it's in the contract. It's not.
Mapes, everybody
lawyers.
wants to know how much money you've laundered for Macosta meth lords.
Macosta meth lords.
Who like to keep it legit.
Yeah, right.
Come
you
on.
know, because that's what you would do.
You know, it's actually zero because they're really not big on laundering
Okay.
anything.
All
Yeah.
right. All
Yeah.
right.
There's no laundering in Macosta.
yeah, yeah.
Have you had anybody since you've because this is we've been having the Mape studio for some time on the air. Has anybody called and said, "Hey, I heard you on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show"?
Yeah, we've gotten.
It's worked. Are you
it's-
serious?
It's starting to work. Yes,
Oh my!
Oh, you're going to
God.
make your money back in no
Yeah.
time.
I
Yeah.
would hope so. I mean, they're complete moral degenerates.
Oh, they are. These people, they have two nickels to rub together because they're so bankrupt.
No.
or they will be.
Dr.
They're-
Jeffrey Mapes is here. Mapes Esquire. Mapesdebt.com. We said this yesterday, and I don't want you to get in any trouble, so you have to be somewhat vague. But what is the most ridiculous bankruptcy case that you have personally seen where they brought it to you, where they leave and you're like, well, I'm going to do my best to help you, but you want to just say to anyone, what kind of decisions were they making? Like, how did they get, someone who invested all of their money in Snuggies or wanted to wear new khakis every day or something?
It's not all that common. Most people that do come in just either got sick or lost a job, and
Yeah.
it's not really foolish spending.
Yeah.
Occasionally you do see it, trying to explain to someone that if they want to keep a house or a car, they're still going to have to pay that after a bankruptcy. They just assume that I'm not going to have to pay it anymore.
Right. Yeah, they just think they just don't know how it works.
Like Michael Scott on The Office when he thought declaring bankruptcy happened by just yelling, I declare bankruptcy!
That's not too far off from the truth.
Really?
It's unfortunately bankruptcy is kind of a tricky subject, and frankly, there are a lot of attorneys out there that probably don't do much better than just screaming it at the top of their lungs.
They're just getting the paycheck, pay in advance, and get you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you ever heard from Diesel Tech Guy? Because you wrote a letter to him right around that time when everything hit the fan, when he picked a fight with the world, and you wrote a letter saying, I just wanted to express to you that for your impending bankruptcy, I would like to offer my services in a very sharply written letter to him. Has there been any talk?
There has not. It was probably my mistake. He may not be literate. I didn't check that beforehand. I've not yet heard from him, but I'm happy to do so. I just think it's one of those things where he knew his audience. If you have a Venn diagram of gay people and people that drive diesel trucks, there's probably not overlap in between the two.
Not a lot.
slim,
Yeah, I
no.
wouldn't think a lot.
So it might work out for him then.
I get the feeling something's going to happen at some point in his life, but
Yeah.
maybe this works.
Yeah. Weird how that works
Yeah.
out.
I mean, I know how you guys feel about truck drivers, and they probably don't mind that.
Yeah, they're right. They're
Probably
right there with
not, yeah.
lawyers.
That's kind of insulting to truck drivers. Every day I have a 3-year-old son, and I just pray to God he doesn't become a lawyer. I really do want him to become something more respectable, like a meth cook.
Okay. yeah.
There's probably more money.
Yeah.
Okay. Now listen. There's a ton of people who may need your services in the future. What's the easiest way to reach Mapes?
Cell phone, right?
Abs-
Cell phone.
What's your home phone?
If you just show up at my house
Yeah. You'll give him a burner.
and just throw your bills on the doorstep, we'll handle it.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably the best way to reach us would just either go online. You can go to mapesdebt.com, and that's going to take you right to us, or you can just give us a call. It's at least in Grand Rapids, 616-719-3847. And, you'll probably end up talking to our receptionist, Kelsey, who is legally a dwarf, we found out the other day.
Oh, what is it? What is the height? Is it under 5 foot?
I believe it was 4'11". And
My wife's a dwarf then.
Wow.
Yeah. They're both dwarfs.
Mine's close.
I've had that conversation with her before.
Cannot be.
Yeah.
She is legally a dwarf.
How tall is
So,
she?
like, you have to get her a car
4'11".
seat.
She is 4'11".
Do you just look like a pedophile when you go out with her?
Well, I'm not like a giant.
Well,
mate.
it doesn't matter if
I'm only
she's
like
there.
5'7".
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if she's there.
Yeah. It's worse in my house because my wife is only maybe a half-inch taller than yours,
Yeah.
except I'm about like 7
Yeah.
inches taller
Hey,
than you.
We could swap spinners.
Oh,
Why not?
yes.
That was the only thing stopping you, right?
I'll run it by
Size.
the old lady.
You need their consent.
Well, no, I don't
Yeah.
need it, but it keeps harmony.
Right.
That's the way to go.
Awesome around.
Jeffrey D. Mapes, Esquire, the doctor.
We need
The
a
third and
a
fourth.
Mapes song. I don't know.
Yeah, have you ever thought about getting a jingle?
Yeah.
I've thought about it. Really wanted to try and work something in.
Do you
with-
have a relative that's like is like blind that you could like bring into the firm and have them do commercials and like stare the wrong way?
None that I'm aware of. I've been searching for a black family member that could get a really good
Okay.
R&B group.
Because
Like a blues
I've heard that law firms are doing that. They're turning to like the person who can't see.
Yeah, if you ever do hire someone, like doesn't have to be a family member, who is on your firm and you do TV ads, put a bell over top of the camera where they're supposed to look so they're
You
looking
want them
in the right direction.
way.
I'm not. I've had former employees that I think were at least mentally disabled, and
Okay.
it didn't work out. Didn't help bring in the business.
Didn't happen. Well,
Now,
good to
at
know.
some point, Mapes is going to have to go out and cut his stupid ribbon, isn't he? Is that like? Now, do we do that on the air?
Lieutenant Governor
That's good
Callie is
radio.
here.
Yeah, do we have
the
a
Property
sword?
Brothers are here. Yeah, get the scimitar from the office.
Wow, that's exciting.
Here's a accomplice alt from a listener. This Mapes guy is actually pretty cool, but I'm super high, so who knows? That's a guy you'll meet in about a week when he can't understand why he can't keep his Volvo.
Yeah.
Well,
Dr. Jeffrey D. Mapes, Esquire.
we only have one rule around the office, which is no intravenous drugs in the office.
That's a good rule.
If they want to go ahead and do it before or after, that's perfectly fine. I would prefer after. It'd probably be a little bit easier to talk to them.
I think that's the way to go. Do we have that rule?
No.
I look at management.
No.
Shrug. Who cares?
I am curious too, though, since this is my studio.
Yeah.
Do I have the power to throw people out?
Yeah, you can do whatever
Absolutely.
you
yeah,
want.
I'm not
yes.
messing with you, Mapes.
Yes.
Who's out?
I'm your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it gives you all-encompassing authoritarian control.
I would hope so. I'm just going to kick in the door one day.
I like
Do
it.
it.
You
Do
should.
it. I mean,
your
why
your
not?
name
I
is
mean,
on it.
Bye bye me.
Where's the air horn?
I think
the
it's
air
in
horn is
Steve's
in
booth, isn't
Is
it?
it in your booth, Steve? In the far booth
Oh,
down
in the
there.
far booth, yeah.
If you want to blast it in your salesperson's ear, that's part of the contract.
Yeah, we
That's
could
okay.
juice that thing up.
It would be, I think that should be.
I think it
Mapes
would be
that-
a nice way to alert.
.com. We're going to cut a ribbon. You can't see it. America. It's Kid Rock wasting time. 97.9 GRD Rocks.
Now we're gonna count it down, right?
I don't know. What is the... you have to make a declaration of some sort. You should be wearing a stovepipe hat. What in the hell? That is a ribbon there, man!
You almost ran right into it, scissors.
You'd have been like that old lady.
He died.
You could have been like Richard Bernstein.
Clear the studio filled with idiots.
I declare bankruptcy.
Oh, the scissors are bankrupt in the ability to cut. Let's go get the cake.
Yeah, where's the cake?
There's cake. There's Krispy Kreme and
Why wouldn't there be cake?